Sir Edwin. Thank you so much for allowing me to conduct this management interview. I would like to introduce myself. I am Rhoda de los Santos, PhD doctorand of St. Joseph Institute of Technology, Butuan City. So, how's life after retirement?
Good afternoon also. No? Actually, I'm still adjusting to the life of a retiree because I'm used to, the life of government official, department head, waking up early and to be able to be at the office at 8 o'clock. So now, I have to extend my sleep and I'm not used to it. I am still adjusting.
Okay, so being a government in the government service for 39 years.
39 years.
39 years. So that's a great achievement in your life. So can you tell me a bit about your career path and what led you to your role for being the Provincial Assessor of Surigao del Sur?
Now, after college, I immediately entered government service. And then, at the age of 26, actually I was 22 during that time. At 26, I was already promoted as a department head in the local government municipal level. And then, because of hard work, dedication, and sincerity to the job, I was able to get higher positions in higher levels of LGUs. And then finally, I was promoted to the highest position in the provincial level 5 years ago.
So, what is your time-tested principle as a leader in the government service, and what about your management style?
As a leader, you should always lead by example. For example, you cannot expect your subordinates to be punctual if you are yourself is not practicing the punctuality. So you have to lead by example. As to the management style, sometimes I do not stick to one management style because for me, combination of two or more styles would be better because it would yield the most appropriate action for you to take in some instances. Because I always encourage my subordinates to take part and play an active role in every activities undertaking that we are taking, and I always consider their inputs before I decide certain issues. But there are times that as a leader, as a department head, you have to be aggressive, you have to be autocratic in order that the best result, or you'll be able to resolve the most pressing challenge that at hand or that you are facing. So two or more, I do not stick to one specific style of management. Two or more is better.
So, Mr. Acevedo, Mr. Edwin J. Acevedo is a retired government employee in the province of Surigao del Sur. He is the erstwhile Provincial Assessor of Surigao del Sur. So, as with such position, Sir Edwin, aside from your family, who else inspires you to do your best as a leader?
Of course, my family, but aside from my family, my subordinates. Because I want to, again, be the example for my subordinates. I have to be competent, I have to be knowledgeable, so that there's a saying that if you work for a strong and competent leader, your subordinates will also feel the same, or they are more or less capacitated. And then they will be working hard, trying to capacitate themselves also. So, in fact, I'm very happy that when I retired, most of my employees were able to get higher positions. They were promoted by the governor because of their performances, very good performances.
Meaning to say, your subordinates really look at up you because it radiates in the organization your leadership to them, so they are also successful in their own.
I always encourage my subordinates to work hard, to set aside personal ambitions, just to work hard because time will come that all the struggles, the hardships that they have encountered will be answered. Of course, I always encourage them to continue capacitating themselves by enrolling in master's degree offered by local universities. And some of them are already graduate of master's degree.
So that's a very good inspiration for them to also excel in their own career. So as of this time, what do you enjoy before you retired, no, during your government service stint? What do you enjoy the least, or is there something that surprised you about the role when you first started as a leader in the province, for example?
As a leader or as a department head of a certain office, there are always perks offered to you. And I have to be honest that there are certain instances where I feel awkward when these perks are offered.
By the clients?
By the clients and some by the subordinates. And because I am even surprised that there are really subordinates or employees who do not want to work hard. They want to get higher positions through a convenient and easier way. So I really feel awkward. And I'm really surprised that there are still some of them.
So how do you deal with those kind of employees?
I do not want to embarrass them. I just simply explain to them the reason why we should not do that. I just simply cite examples to them, especially their seniors who were promoted to higher positions, to follow their footsteps.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced as a leader?
For me, my biggest challenge is how to overcome my own weaknesses. Because as a person, as a leader, you always have some weak points in you. So that is one of my biggest challenges, how to overcome these weaknesses. Because of course, we are all human beings. We do commit some mistakes and we have some weak points within ourselves. So I always try to overcome these weaknesses so that I will not be biased, I will not be carried away by perks and other offers being done by clients and of course by some subordinate employees.
Going back to your service in the government, for example, was there a time that this is a follow-up question, was there a time in your career in the government service wherein you really had a difficult decision to make in the organization, for example?
Yeah, there were so many times when you are faced with problems that are so pressing, and these problems are usually favors being asked by certain people, influential people, but then you feel hard to decide because these are against the law.
And maybe against also your personal conviction.
Yes, of course. Aside from being, I want to be honest. I want to be an example to my subordinates because I give in to these people. My subordinates will think that, and they will also do the same. So those are the things that are the hard things that I face during my time as a leader.
For example, in the LGU, or we cannot really avoid the fact that sometimes there are political interventions along the way in our job. So how do you deal with that?
There are so many instances where, of course, our political leaders will intervene. But again, they are our leaders. They are our political leaders. If I have to weigh things, if by giving in to their requests would put me in danger, I have to politely decline. and explain to them the reasons why I have to decline, why these things cannot happen, why these things cannot be approved.
So far, the journey was smooth sailing because of the wise decisions.
Actually, it was not a smooth sailing journey. Because again, there were so many problems, challenges that will keep along the way will be that you will encounter along your way. And all of these are complaints against you in the ombudsman, complaint against you against.
You have encountered that one,
I have encountered.
but there was no case.
There was it was the case filed against me in the ombudsman was dismissed because of lack of legal basis. But again, you will be disturbed by all these challenges. But if you are firm and if you are honest, if you feel that you did not do anything wrong, you will triumph. You will be successful in all these challenges.
Okay, so that's a very good insight, no, for us. Just like myself, I'm a budding leader, and those things will really help me in my ladder towards success. And lastly, for the last question, how do you deal, Sir Edwin, with the negative and passive subordinates in your office?
There are in every organization really there are bad eggs. As the saying goes, there are bad eggs in the basket. But I don't pay so much attention to them. Again, I consider them as the normal people in the organization, the normal behavior, because you cannot really expect that in a certain organization 100% of your subordinates are supporting, are cooperating. They are really bad eggs. Again, I do not pay so much attention to them. I just play fair and square to everyone, and I really do not strive to decide just to please anybody, because by doing so you're actually pleasing nobody. I look at these people not on their weaknesses but on their strengths.
So meaning to say, you are a positive thinker, and you look at things in a positive way.
Yes, because these people might they might have some problems, personal problems, or probably they only lack motivation. That's why they are negative, they are passive. So what are we going to do with that? First is motivate them. Try to show to them that you are supportive in all their shall we say problems that they have in life.
Even if personal problems.
Even the personal problems, you just listen to them, and but you have to support them, especially in their job. If they feel they are not so happy with the job description, probably you can find some other ways for them to be happy and satisfied.
So just like Jack Manoda, the founder of Lazada, Alibaba, and Alipay, he said that in your organization, if everybody is happy, try to look at the people who are unhappy. And if everybody is unhappy, try to look at also the people who are happy. So you can weigh both
Yes,
sides.
you have to weigh all those things. And one thing that I really abhor doing is to give favoritism to anyone. Because it will breed jealousy, more troubles, more misunderstanding in your subordinates in your office. I always try to see to it that I am fair, I am just doing my job, no more, no less.
So lastly, Sir Edwin, how do you define a leader in your own experience?
A leader is somebody who knows how to motivate subordinates, who knows how to understand people under him, and above all, who knows how to sacrifice for the sake of his subordinates.
So that's a very great statement. No? You have to sacrifice for for the good of everybody, especially for the achievement of the goals of the organization.
Sacrifice. Speaking of sacrifice, I've done this twice.
For example,
I have to leave my station when the offer came. I have to transfer to a higher class municipality, sacrificing even my family, because of course I have to travel. I have to be away from my family, but I have to do that so that my people under me will also go up. I would like to provide them the opportunity to grow.
from Bislig to the
From
province.
district to the province. Before, from Limig to Bislig, now from Bislig to the province. So twice I have sacrificed, twice already, and I was very happy because I'm very happy because all the people that were under me are now leaders. They grow, they became department heads also, and they are occupying high positions in the LGUs that I left.
So, lastly, what insight or what leadership statement would you like to share so that it will also radiate to others who are budding leaders in any organization?
A good leader can always say to himself and to everybody that I am a successful leader when he was able to produce a leader also from within his subordinates. By that instance, you are a successful leader because you are able to produce a leader also from among your subordinates before.
So, meaning to say, your kind should multiply.
Yes, that should be.
So, that's very good. Personally, I am also very thankful with Mr. Acevedo for he also has influenced my career, no, as an educator before, as a teacher, and now working in the DepEd, handling a higher position. It's not easy, and he's really my mentor in my leadership career and in my teaching career. So thank you so much, sir, for the time. God
Thank you.
bless. That ends our interview with Mr. Edwin J. Acevedo. He served the government half of his life for 39 years as before assessor of the city of municipality of Lingig, and then the city assessor of Bislig, and then before he retired, he was the provincial assessor of the province of Surigao del Sur. May his footsteps and his insights as a leader be valued and will encourage us budding leaders to do our best to share our lives to others in God's agenda. That's all. Best afternoon. This is Rhoda De Los Santos from Bislig City.